So welcome back to this video, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing off where we left off last week, and maybe we're going to be displaying photos inside our albums. So if we go to the website at the minute, we can see an unattractive sort of looking page, and it's going to display the albums. So if we put more albums in, we'd see more albums out here. And what we're going to do is once we finish this page, we're going to move on to the next page, which is going to be actually displaying photos. And then after that, we'll probably move on and actually upload photos. So let's get started. So we're going to go to context here, and I'm just going to delete all this. And we're going to start from scratch. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to create a table. And I'll put the table row in there, and then we will go down here and we're gonna end the table row and then end the table. So if we refresh the page now, we won't see any difference apart from that actually disappearing because we deleted the code for that. But what we're gonna do is, so let's come in here, and firstly what we're going to do is create a table detail. And in case you're wondering, the reason why these are outside of the PHP code is because we only want this to show up once. We only want one table, but inside this echo it's going to be repeated for however many albums the user has. So we'll go down a bit, and then in here we'll just create a div. And the div class is going to be, the div class is going to be albums from our CSS file. And in our albums class in the CSS file, I'm just going to add a width of 200 pixels and a height of 200 pixels. So then now if I refresh, we have a 200 pixel square here. And you'll see if I cut this and then paste it again, or copy it and paste it again and refresh, as you can see we have two squares beside each other. So what I'll actually do is include a space . Okay, so to fix that, actually we're gonna come into the albums and we'll just put a padding on the left, or just say padding left 5 pixels. So now if we refresh, that's right. Let's try this now. Yeah, so it was margin right, so just set the margin right to maybe 10 pixels. So now we have a 10 pixel margin or a gap in between the two boxes. So now we've done that, we can get rid of this. And in here what we're going to do is we're just going to create an image. We're going to put a hash in there because we haven't got our image yet, and we're going to set the height equal to 170 and the width equal to 170 pixels as well. So now if we refresh it again, and also to make it look a bit better, we can center it. Well, that's not really the correct way. The center tag does work, and sometimes I use it because I'm lazy, but the correct way as of 2014 is to say text line center. now if we do that and refresh, now our image is in the center. I don't know why they're changing it, but that's what they're going to do. And then we're going to put 2 line breaks, and then we're just going to say album title, and then just refresh again, and there it is. So there's our album showing up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to allow people to click on it and then to view the inside of the album, so to view pictures and things. So we'll just create a new file, and then we'll just save it as all files, and we'll just call it we could just call it view photo .php. So now if we do that and we hit save, we have a PHP file. So what I'll do is I'll just include this whole file, basically just paste it in, and then in this div, where is it? We're gonna link the image. We're just gonna actually create a link here to view photo.php. ID, let me see. We'll actually say we actually need to create, no, we'll say UID equals yeah, okay, sorry if that didn't make sense, but we're gonna go to view photo.php, UID equals, and then UID, and then down here we're gonna end the href. So now if we refresh, we have a link that when we click on it, and as you can see, it takes us to albums. So we need to open our .htaccess file by going to all files, and then double clicking on this file. It looks like it doesn't have a name, but if you wave your mouse over it, you can see it says .ht or htaccess. So now if we open that, all we have to do is copy this line and paste it down, and just change this to view photo.php. Whoops. View photo, and then click save. And now if we refresh, okay, so the reason this file isn't working is because we need to go into here and then change it so it's get UID. Or no, we can just leave it as U, whatever. No, actually we'll change it just to make sure we don't get confused. And then change this obviously to UID. But obviously since we did that, now this isn't going to be looking for viewphoto.php. It's going to be album / and then whatever the UID is. So if I go into the database, and in the database, as you can see, it says UID and then test. So what I have to do is type in albums / test, and for some reason it didn't work. But we're actually going to change this to album / view photo / and then this way. Now if we go to albums / view photo / test. Okay, we keep getting redirected, so what I'm going to do is just comment this out, and let's see what happens. So we go to album / view photo / test, and here it is. But okay, the reason it's redirecting us is because we're including the header file from the wrong location. So what we have to do, since we've gone 2 directories further away from the inc file, well, okay, this include line will only work from the root directory. And now, even though we haven't actually changed directory, according to htaccess, we're 2 directories further in. So what we need to do is just type in // to go up 2 directories, and then it'll find the inc/inc files /header.inc.php file. So, okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, so that wasn't actually the problem, but the real problem is because we've said here, where is it? Username equals MySQL read escape string UID. So basically, we just created a variable called username that filters this URL string, and what it does is it checks that against the database. So since we don't have a user called test, it doesn't work. But if we typed in cinema, it works, and that's why. So we can uncomment this line, and we need to change this to let me see, picture, and then we can just rename these. So we're going to say select all from photos where UID equals UID. No, actually we need to change this to picture. Okay, so now we've done that, we're going to change this. Before we move any further, we're actually going to create the database table. So if we go here and we click create table, okay, so I'm going to do it here. So what we're just going to say is photos, and then let's go into context and plan out our fields. So the first one obviously is ID. Next one can be UID because the photo doesn't really, okay. No, I'll say UID. Username, date posted, and description. Let's try that. So there's 5 fields, so it's 5 we need. So let's create a table with 5 fields called photos and click enter. Okay, so the first one we created was ID. The second one we created was UID. Next one was username. Next one was date posted. And the next one was description. So what we're going to do is set the UID equal to a varchar of length 32. Username can be 32 as well. Date posted, just to keep it simple, we're going to set it to date, and then description can be text. Then we're going to go over and set the index to primary, and then set it to auto increment. So now we're just going to save our table, and as you can see, now we have a new table called photos. So we go to structure, and we insert a value. The value of the UID is going to be test, obviously. The username can be cinema, it doesn't matter. Date posted can be today. And the description is this is a test. So what we're going to do is we're going to click go. And now that query's gone through, we're going to click browse. And we can see it in our database now. So as I made sure to make sure that this UID matches the UID in the albums table of our album, so that the photo knows which album to go into. Basically, we need to make sure those 2 UIDs match. So we go back to the photos table and we'll go to context. So we're going to change this to UID, and then username. So we're just gonna paste this down and then change this one to date posted. Date posted. And then finally the last row we used was description. So now we've done that, we can go down here and what we're going to do is we're going to go here and just change this to posts, or photos actually, and then obviously change it to UID as well. And then I just realized change this actually to posts or photos. Why do I keep saying posts? So we're gonna just cut these, copy them actually, and then delete the bottom two, because we don't need our server doing any extra work than it has to, because that's just gonna slow our page down. And then here we can just change this to UID. No, maybe we should have had a photo title. We'll just change it to description for now. So now if we refresh, we're gonna get taken back to here, because a photo called cinema doesn't exist, or a photo with a UID of cinema doesn't exist. So before we do that, we're actually gonna go to albums and change it to albums/view photo/ and then UID, which is why the UIDs had to be the same, so that we can point to it from that. So we go here and we type in album/cinema, and here we get the album. So now if we click on the link, let's have a look. So if we go to the view photo page actually, let's just see, let's go to it to oh, okay, here it is. It's because it's /albums/albums. So just go down here and then delete that, and then we'll just go back to the albums page, and then we'll click on it now. So here it is. It looks exactly the same, but as you can see, the name changed. It says this is a test. If we go back, this is a test album. They're pretty similar, but it shows it's working because this isn't even a link either. So now if we go to view photo and we change this to photos, or we just actually say photos in this album, and then here it is. So we can get rid of the no, we can leave it like that. So we can, before we go, we can add another row to the table, and this time it's just one row at the bottom, and it's actually the most important one. It's the photo ID, or the photo URL. So it's photo or image URL, and we'll set it to varchar, and then we'll actually set it to text, and then just hit enter. So now we have the image URL field, and in our case it's going to be empty at the minute. So let's click inline edit, and we can edit our field like this. And okay, so it's not letting us edit it because it's empty. So I'm just gonna put in I'm gonna go to homepage, or the newsfeed actually, and here I'm just gonna drag this image up and copy its URL and just paste it in. So this can be our test image for our photo album, and here I'm just gonna set or include the new row image URL, and set this to image URL. So now if we go back to our albums and we click on the photo. Here it is, here's our photo, so it's showing up. So that's it for this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. There'll be more like this coming soon as well. As well as videos in other programming languages such as JavaScript, Python, and maybe C or other ones like that. So don't forget to comment, rate, or comment, like, and subscribe, like I said. And in the next part, what we'll probably be doing is actually letting people upload their own images to photo albums. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.